Okay, let's go ahead and go to level 1. So I select levels. If you have so many of them, you can click here and select everything and make everything not to be visible. Then unselect everything. Go on the level that you want, click on current, and then it should make it visible. Excuse me, so this is my first level. We have done a lot of cleanup already, so everything should be fine. But the thing that's not fine is are basically these two missing rooms here that we can see. Again, if you remember, we talked about it. You can place these rooms in Revit, but for now, I just left them like this, so I can just show you how to do it here. So the way is you just select the rooms around them, and then use this command called place room or fill holes. Sorry, and this will place rooms in everywhere that's missing. There is a help here for area threshold. So if you have a model which is not fully cleaned up, you can basically use this area threshold to make sure small gaps don't get a room, right? If you want every gap to get a room, then put the area threshold to 0. You can put a name here too, so you can call the shaft, for example, here. So this will be the name of the room, and it will figure out the height of the room based on the rooms on that floor. So now if I run this, you can see the room is inserted here. It's called shaft, right? So I could have done this all together too. So I can select like this, right? And now I can run the same command. Run, and now there will be one room here and another one here. Based on how it finds them, it will name them. So the first one was shaft, the second one will be shaft 1. You can now go and edit the properties of these rooms that we just created. If I select them, I can find them in the rooms table. So when I select it here, it will be selected here too. So these are the new ones that we put in place. You can see ground contact is missing, so I can select both of them here and click here, so make sure they're set to ground contact. Then I can click here and rename them. So shaft, I want to call it elevator shaft, and this one, shaft 1, can be called shaft. I might want to also put a number to be to show this is on the first level. So I can do 1, 3, 4 for this one, and then 1, 3, 5, and I can see the room that I put in automatically ended up being starting with a number 2, which can be confusing. So I can do 1, 3, 6. So this table, basically, this is an opportunity for me to show that you can use the table to edit the properties of the room. So okay, now these are located, and if I select them, I can read the new name of the room. So I'm going to select everything and do one more validation. I know we ran the validation, but when you make changes to the model, you might introduce new issues. So this is how you fix it. Then the other thing is I want to make sure I don't have any gaps, which the command you already know, right? Then the next way to just make sure everything is also fine is you just select everything and run solve adjacency. So that will go and split everything between all the rooms and solve them. And then similar to what we had for showing the walls that are not orthogonal, we have another command that shows you all the exterior walls. So it highlights all the exterior walls. So if I click this, it quickly highlights everything that's exterior. And if there was an issue in my model, if there were rooms that were not fully closed, I could see them. Before we had this highlight, you had to do a 3D view, and I still show that to you, that you can run a 3D view, right? And then in 3D preview, you could have gone and hide the roof and the ceiling, right? And then also the walls for exterior walls, and check all the interior walls to make sure everything is interior. I mean, this still works, but this is a lot of work. If you ask me. So now this new methodology is just much faster. So this is first level, everything is done, everything is clean, I just fix it. Then I can go to second level and third level quickly, right? So I go to second level, turn this off, and now you can see for second level, I see all this walls to be set to exterior because I didn't solve the adjacency, right? I can select everything, I can run solve adjacency. And now I can see everything is fine. If I want, I can rerun that, find gaps, but we already know there are no issues in this floor. And then of course Control A and validation, and this is also valid. Then quickly I'm going to go to the third level and do the same thing, right? Run solve adjacency, and you can see there is ceiling adjacencies that I'm not selecting. So ceiling adjacency is useful when you run the adjacency and you have several levels on top of each other. So it also solves the floors and against each other. So when I would use that, either you can check in 3D to make sure all the roofs are matching. It's unlikely that they don't, but you want to check them, right? And you can also set that up when you want to export the model. So those are the main two cases that I use. With these highlights that we have now, between the highlight exterior, highlight orthogonals, and also find gaps, you should be able to cover everything, even between different floors. Just select the 3 levels when you run the find adjacency gaps. Yeah, this is now much faster than what it used to be. For this is Alt and E to show the exterior, and then Alt and O is to show the non-orthogonal ones. So Alt and E, and we see everything is clean. So yeah, this should be the end of cleaning everything, putting the rooms there, and we are now ready to add shades and then start exporting the model. And then I'm going to show you some specific features that you can use to simplify model more, like merging all the rooms or simplifying the windows.